You are without doubt the coldest audience that has ever witnessed a TEDx talk. So don't worry about it. Well, here we are in the last truly great wilderness on Earth. My name's Swan. And this is the only natural reserve, as we look around, a land for science and peace. It's the only place in the world that we, all of us, own. Now exactly 100 years ago today, now, Captain Scott, the famous British explorer, and his team were out there. We're on the mainland of the Antarctic here. This is the continent. So about 3,000 kilometres that way on the Great Ice Barrier. Captain Scott and his team now, 100 years ago, were entering their final, last march. They'd been beaten to the South Pole by the brilliant Amundsen from Norway. Dispirited, they were only a few days now, 100 years ago, from dying. They would die 11 miles from safety, from frostbite and starvation. This story and the story of the great explorers inspired me as a 11-year-old young man, and I saw the films and I had this dream that one day I would become the first person to walk to the South Pole and then the North Pole, and 22 years later we achieved that mission. I didn't, we did it. And on those journeys at the North Pole, the great ice cap of the Arctic Ocean, it melted beneath our feet. We're 1,000 kilometres away from land, and you've all seen now the ocean, the cold. Imagine the ice breaking beneath your feet 4 months before it ever had, and we nearly all drowned. On the South Pole expedition, not far from here, my eyes changed colour through damage. Our faces burnt away, and we were told on return that we'd walked under the hole in the ozone layer. And 25 years ago, my friends, I got it so wrong. I came back from here to civilization, and I was negative. I went on TV and told people the world was going to end, it was all our fault, and no one listened to me. And luckily, thank goodness, I was rescued by two great men. Sir Peter Scott, Captain Scott's son, who founded the Worldwide Fund for Nature, the WWF. And Jacques Cousteau, the irreplaceable Frenchman, Jacques Cousteau. These two gentlemen came to me and they gave me, 21 years ago, a 50-year mission. And that mission was to make sure that we, all of us, have the sense to leave this place we're in now alone. Do we have the sense to leave one place alone on Earth forever? That was the challenge. We, all of us, have 29 years to go. And we must succeed in that mission. We formed our organisation, 2041, that's the name. And our determination was not to make the same mistake I'd made about being negative, that we'd always be positive. Our first mission was to come here to Antarctica. Go to King George Island, which you'll be visiting soon, and clear away over 8 years 1,500 tons of twisted metal left in the Antarctic. We did that. We were proud of that, but it wasn't good enough. We all need to step it up. And on the day we left the beach tidy, I thought we must step this up. We must become more businesslike. And the mission became, how could we preserve this place? How could we look after this continent? Really look after it. And the way to do that is to make it not worth people coming here to exploit it. How do you do that? Easy. We use more renewable energy in the real world. We save energy in the real world. We use more biofuels, alternative technology, and there will be no reason to come and exploit this place. You know how hard it was to get here. It's a long way, and we went the shortest distance. Imagine coming here to live here and exploit this continent. It would be hugely expensive. So, if we get more renewable energy going in the real world, then there'll be no reason to come here. So we took on the challenge at 2041 to be champions of renewable technologies, using and testing the whole idea of the energy mix. It's not just going to be renewable energy that powers our lives. It'll be a mix of renewables, good old fossil fuels, and lots of biofuels and synthetic fuels. So we became champions to test. And you will be visiting very soon the world's first education station that we put up here in Antarctica, about 110 nautical miles north of where we are now, Bellingshausen Station. So, what are we now doing? I look for champions, and you're it, whether you like it or not. You are champions to go home with a really positive message. And I am so proud of this group. 78 of us, 23 nations, fantastic. And 100 years ago, when Captain Scott was on his final march, no woman had ever been to Antarctica. No, never. And on this group, our team here, we have 70% women. Fabulous. We have the first woman in history to come from Saudi Arabia. We have the first woman in history to come from Oman. We have a fabulous team of ladies all the way from the United Arab Emirates. We have a powerful team from China, a powerful team from India, the United States of America, all over the world, because we are standing here, one world. Because we're in the only place that we all own. So what do we take from this place? How are we going to listen to this place? Well, first, let's be clear that we have entered the unknown. All of us. You did not know what to expect, and we're not finished yet. And just like those early explorers, imagine them coming with frozen hands on their sailing ships, not knowing if there was land here, not knowing if they'd ever get home. How did they get through? How did they survive? They survived through having a good vision, very good, positive leadership, and most importantly, they employed the best technology of the time to survive. And I ask all of you to listen to this place. Take those skills from the explorers. Look at us using leading edge technology. I mean, not only are we the first TEDx from the Antarctic, we have the courage to be powering this with renewable energy. That's going the extra step, isn't it? So I ask you not to listen to the negative. You will go home and people will say, well, why did you go to Antarctica? Were you on holiday? What? Don't listen to people. Because out there, people are making a mistake. Sorry. And the mistake is to think that they can call people to action through being negative. Read any newspaper. Watch any TV program about the environment. It is all negative. So people switch off. Your job is to switch them on by being positive, listening to this place, taking it into your hearts, remembering how the real explorers survived, going back and blow their socks off with positivity. Now, I think it's right and it's proper when we've entered the unknown to remember Captain Scott. 100 years from now, my friends, think of this. Captain Scott, they died, and 1 year later the search party went out across the great ice barrier to look for them. And they saw a tiny piece of tent poking up from the level snow, and it was the tent in which Captain Scott, Edward Wilson and Birdie Bowers were lying there. And they looked at the sledge, and on that sledge was 35 pounds of geological specimens. Now, I've pulled sledges to both poles, and trust me, if somebody had told me and I was dying to pull on a sledge an extra 35 pounds, I'd say forget it. But they didn't. So as they died, they held on to their mission, which was scientific. Think of that. Really think of that. They held true to what they said they were going to do. And I think it's right now that we send a little message out to Captain Scott. Think, they're lying there still, 100 years later, now, not looking a day older than the day they died 100 years ago. They still look the same, lying there, frozen in time. So what's our message to Captain Scott? Our message is, I hope, is to say, we won't give up. We will hold fast, like you did, to the place you loved. And just as importantly, we will go out and inspire young people, just as Captain Scott inspired me to bring you here. Does everybody feel that? Because I do. So let's go home, take this place in our hearts, be proud of what we've done, deliver on what we say we're going to do, and never forget, none of us inherit our time here from our parents. We borrow our time here now from our children. So good luck to you all, and thanks for hanging out cold to listen to the story. Thank you very much. Quite interesting.